Mr. Speaker, members, thank you for taking the time with me as I lay these amendments out. This is another amendment related to transparency in our elections. It does not support, or it does not propose a limit on what any candidates can raise, but it does make sure that the public can see who is supporting different campaigns. As y'all know, those of us who run for statewide office are required to file file reports with Texas Ethics Commission. But for local candidates, they usually report locally. There's occasional exceptions to that, but most of them report locally. Members, have you ever gone to your county commissioner's website and tried to find the finance reports of the county commissioner candidates? They are very difficult to find. School board, even harder. City council, also challenging. And we are in a time where large amounts of money has been pouring into elections across the state. We just saw that a few days ago, Saturday, with our local elections in different places in Texas. I believe I heard one of the city council races in Fort Worth spent in the six figures for a city council race. So members, what I'm proposing is this, that if a local candidate raises or spends in excess of $25,000, that they submit that report to the Texas Ethics Commission, and the Texas Ethics Commission keep that in a way that is readily viewable to the Texas public. This would be good for transparency for Texans to know who is supporting different campaigns across the state, instead of having to try and collate that data from literally hundreds of jurisdictions across Texas. Members, this is also important because sometimes those local candidates, including those ones who raise or spend more than $25,000, are turning in handwritten reports where you can barely read their writing. That is not transparent. That does not provide good information to Texans who want to know who is behind certain candidates. So members, I move adoption.
The chair recognizes Mr. Guerin in opposition to the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This amendment just requires people that don't have to file with the Ethics Commission to file with the Ethics Commission. There's no reason to put a burden on our city council elections or any of the other elections. If they don't have to file with the Ethics Commission now, there's no reason to make them do it. And I would urge you again to vote no.
The chair recognizes Ms. Weiner to close on the amendment.
Members, if somebody is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars across the state of Texas to systematically influence city council elections or school board elections or county commissioner elections, the public deserves to know that. And right now, we do not have adequate transparency in these situations. And again, this only applies when somebody spends over $25,000 or raises over $25,000. That does not impact the average city council candidate in my district. It doesn't affect the average school board candidate. Who it does affect are these outliers who are raising huge sums from limited individuals who are trying to influence the entire state. And that's something the people of Texas deserve to know about and be able to access that information in an easy fashion. Having to scour the websites for 100 different school districts does not provide transparency or the ability to know what patterns are happening. This is a common sense solution that makes sure that Texans know who is bankrolling candidates and if we do have people trying to put the thumb on the scale. I urge you to vote yes.
Mrs. Weiner sends up an amendment. The amendment is not acceptable to the author. The question occurs on the adoption of the amendment. There's a record vote. The clerk ring the bell. Show Mrs. Weiner voting aye, Mr. Guerin voting nay. Show Mr. Rosenthal voting aye. Have all members voted? There being 52 ayes and 89 nays, the amendment fails to adopt. The chair recognizes Mr. Guerin to close on the bill.